Mexico. The Baja Peninsula. A slightly peculiar place. The desert, that is. 5 weeks in Mexico. This is the second episode of a journey to Cabo with the sole purpose of scuba certification as well as sailing. Mírame cuando yo vago la península de México con Rael.
Last night in Mexico. This is what we're doing.
Catavina, Mexico. The middle of the desert, 477 kilometers from the US border.
We're here in Catavina, Mexico, which is basically just this small little pueblo in between where we were yesterday, Mama Espinosa's, and Guerro Negro, I think, or Punta Negro, wherever we're going today. And we stopped here because we were told that we should stop here for the evening and then drive the rest because it's gonna be like 150 miles of potholes. So we did that and we slept and it was nice. This morning we were hanging out over at the mini market and we were cooking some food here in the van. One of those Humvees of military personnel rolls up and the guy comes and he like looks in the passenger window like this, and we're like, well, that was really rude, because we're sitting in the van watching him. Well, let's just let him do his thing. Hopefully he'll leave and we don't have to interact with him. So then he goes to the back of the van and he's like looking around, and I see him like touching the trasheroo, and I'm like, dude, why are you touching my stuff? That's not cool. But I'm watching him and I don't see him, you know, he like backs off and then walks away, and I was like, well, that was weird. I'd rather not have any confrontations with a guy with a gun. So let him go, and we're watching him, and he gets back in the Humvee and they drive off. And so now I just went back and we filled up gas here, and I was looking in the trasheroo and he stole my motorcycle gloves. So that's uncool, not cool. So the lesson is, if somebody is touching your stuff that isn't supposed to be, don't let them. I think that's the lesson. But it's the military. That's so frustrating that it's the military, because they automatically intimidate you because they have weapons. God.
Este Senor topped off our fuel tank, and we continued south through a landscape reminiscent of a Dr. Seuss novel. After many more hours of driving, we finally crossed into Baja California Sur. But first, you must stop and give this gentleman 20 pesos, or about $1, for a pesticide spray to decontaminate your vehicle.
That was the disinfectant spray, so now we have no contaminants on the vehicle.
We drove to Guerro Negro Lagoon, which is an annual birthing site for the gray whales. We camped and filmed with Andre, Desiree, and Alex. In the morning, they took off south, and Rael and I went back to Guerro Negro. I am driving to the mechanic because I'm going to see if I can get brake pads because my brakes are sounding quite bad. But I think I need brake pads, and then since I'm in Mexico, labor is cheaper, so I'm gonna see if I can get like a 6-inch lift on the van for pretty cheap. We'll see how it goes, but that's what I'm doing right now. I'm going to head to a mechanic. Yo tengo mi café y vamos a el mecánico. Gladys went under the wrench and received a nice booty lift, as well as new brake pads, for only 2,735 pesos, or $145 US. Then before we knew it, we woke up in the quaint pueblo of San Ignacio. $15 miles ago, we passed 100K, boy! I have an affinity for churches and especially their architecture. This church was designed by Gustave Eiffel. Yes, like the tower. Almost 1,000 clicks deep into Mexico, we arrive to Mulaje, and we find those picturesque Bahamian landscapes. Down here, you can camp directly on the beach, so that's what we did. Hey Rael, what just happened?
We were accosted by a very friendly gentleman who offered us pina coladas.
That's Jim, and that's his campsite. He's been camping here for about 3 years, not straight. I met Preacher Man Roy, who invited us to go for a sail. So we moved to the more secluded Playa Los Naranjos. Preacher Man Roy is from the Ozarks. Being from the Midwest myself, Roy's hospitality was a very refreshing breath of fresh air. I went to church for the first time in only God knows how long.
Sin is originated in the heart of man. Now we may get some dolphins.
We are gonna go sail in the Sea of Cortez.
With Preacher Man Roy.
He's coming in. Okay, please that thing towards me.
Roy taught me the basics of sailing as we cruised around Bahia de Concepcion. tacking, jibing, and even running, I got a sense of what it means to work with the wind.
Pick out a point and just head towards that point. Okay, now then let's keep.
Coming around the peninsula, we hit some tricky wind, a bit of calm, and then it began to gust over 20 knots, which in a small boat like this threatened to capsize us a couple times.
Oh, that hurt so bad.
You okay?
Yeah, bad time. Timing is bad. But we're doing good, guys. We're headed right where I wanted to go. We had to take the scenic tour there for a moment. Hello.
But perseverance and awareness brought us in safely to shore, where Roy worked his magic, and with absolutely not even a single dime on us, we all had lunch and, of course, beer. Join us next time as we find our way down to La Paz and we take our first breaths underwater. Thanks for watching, and thank you most of all to the patrons who make this channel possible. I really do appreciate you. Join the team and connect with us, where we are constantly responding to each and every one of you. Thanks for watching. I do appreciate it. Turn on those notifications so you get notified when the next episode comes out. Big love, Dylan McGaster, over and out, boy.